the mobile telephone, the telephone that's mobile. Now, these are fantastic. Technology, you can connect to the world. You can find out about science. You can connect with people. You can get navigation. You can ask Siri things. All of this is great, but it can also be very, very distracting because maybe you're doing something great. You're looking at a beautiful landscape, or maybe you're in deep thought, or even enjoying some time with your friends. But then, ping, notification. Bob has liked your picture of a cat. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Look at the beautiful bing. Oh no, another notification. Maybe I'm working on a song and I'm vibing out. Notes, noises, dubstep. Bing! Oh no, notification. Okay, oh, I've got 4,000 notifications. Let's respond to all of these. Maybe you've been walking down the street and without even thinking, you're fully on autopilot. You've got your phone out, you're onto Instagram, and you're just sort of flicking through, and you're not even and you kind of spring back into consciousness, and you go, hold on a minute, I didn't even want to look at Instagram or Facebook. I literally wasn't thinking. This happens to almost everybody, and this video will tell you how to not do that. Now, most of this relies on taking control of what you're doing. If you have a bing bong message, a notification, maybe someone's commented on your Instagram post, or maybe an email's come through, or almost anything at all, what that's doing is taking your attention away from whatever you should actually be doing. Maybe you're writing a song, maybe you're walking down the street relaxing, maybe you're eating dinner, maybe you're enjoying the company of a human being, anything at all. You're doing something, and what you don't want is this little guy interrupting that, taking your attention away. Bad phone, don't do that, don't do that. Bad. Tip number 1, moon. Press the moon. The moon means do not disturb. This is a very, 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 very powerful feature it's definitely on the iPhone, probably on other phones too. And the idea is it's called do not disturb mode. What it does, as you can probably guess from the name, is stop it making bing bong noises. Stop it vibrating, stop it ringing, unless it's actually important. And the different categories of importance. So, for example, on the Apple iPhone, on Do Not Disturb, by default, if they ring back within like 3 times within 30 seconds or something, then it actually comes through. So if there's an emergency, maybe a friend is like, oh no, I'm stuck somewhere, ring 3 times within 30 seconds, then you do actually get the call, which is great because in that situation, you might actually need to pick it up. That's fantastic. Do not disturb. I think you're brilliant. What you can also do, which is something that I personally do, is you can set a specific person, maybe your significant other, to actually bypass the do not disturb. So on the iPhone, it's what are they called? Aha! So yes, it's called emergency bypass. So you can go into the contact on your phone and to make certain people bypass this do not disturb, which of course is brilliant. Now, tip number 2. Number 2, turn off notification badges. You know, on your telephone, I mean, I've turned them all off apart from reminders, which is my to-dos. So on my to-dos, you see the number 11. In fact, look at that. That was like magic or something. So I have a number 11 on there. That's the badge, the number 11. What you can do, in fact, what you want to do, is turn it off for almost everything. Because let's be honest, how often do you actually need to see a little badge? Almost never, it's just not needed. Maybe on your email, in fact, I think I do have them turned on for my email, but I keep inbox 0, so that's not a problem. Although in the case of email, you only really want that for what Gmail calls primary messages, i.e. not spam, not social media, etc. So email, maybe have a badge on email, but I suppose the more important concept here is you don't want badges on everything. You don't want 40 bazillion WhatsApps, 40 bazillion Instagrams, and 40 bazillion Facebooks, etc. Because then what happens is every time you look at your phone, you go, oh no, this is a disaster. I look at all the things I've got to do, when you don't really need to do it. You'll get to it in your own time. And that brings me on to tip number 3. Delete Facebook off your phone. You don't need it. Facebook, no, you just don't need it on your phone, unless you do. If you need Facebook on your phone, more about that in tip number 4. But basically, delete Facebook off your phone because you just don't need it. Computer, but do it on the computer. If you have Facebook on your phone, what you'll do is you'll just keep flicking through it all day long. Same with Instagram. You'll just be flicking through. Yeah, all of this applies to Instagram. You'll be flicking through. And we go, oh, look at that, brilliant. Oh, advertising. Oh, Facebook, you're capturing my attention. Oh, Instagram, which is also on my Facebook, you capture my attention. Oh, I'm satisfied in the most minor way humanly possible. So if you have them on your phone, progressively the brain will get rewired to fill any gap in time. You'll be walking to your car like 4 yards, you get your phone out and go flick, 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 flick. Oh, I need stimulation of the most minor level imaginable. So take Facebook and Instagram off your phone, unless you need them. More about that in the next tip. What it allows you to do is actually enjoy the real world and synthesize thoughts, feelings, ideas, concepts. The big problem is if your brain fills any gap in time with must flick through a feed, must look for things. If your brain defaults, I mean, it's all about the default. If your brain defaults to that, then your brain's not actually doing what it should be doing. Whether that's thinking advanced thoughts or interacting with a human or even relaxing, which is important too, or appreciating a beautiful view. All of these things you can't do if your brain's constantly filling any void in time with must flick through a feed. So delete them off your phone. Unless you need them. Now, we're on to 4, probably. Tip number 4, if you need Instagram or you need Facebook on your phone, such as I do, not with Facebook, but with actually Instagram, so I can Instagram multiply pictures. If I see like a funny cow or something, and you can see on my Instagram feed here, I do have pictures of cows on my Instagram. So let's say you're out and about and you want to take a picture of a cow. Most of you will be musicians or DJs of some sort, so you probably might actually need Facebook and or Instagram on your phone. So let's say you do. I mean, think really hard. Do you actually need them on your phone? In the case of Facebook, you probably don't, but maybe actually with Instagram, because it's hard to put the Instagram photos through the computer. So let's say you need Instagram on your phone, like I do, not Facebook, Instagram. The secret here, this is a big secret. Don't have it on the home screen. Therefore, you don't get that impulse, that like zero effort required to look thing where it's on your home screen, click, flick, 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 click. I mean, that's almost no effort at all. And that's how you end up getting addicted to these things. So you can have it on your phone, and then depending on how good you are at resisting these things, you might have to potentially bury it. So for me, I have it on the last page, and that's 2 flicks away, which is, you'd be surprised how much of a difference that makes. Genuinely, when it was on the home screen, I'd be just sort of, because it's like almost a slight one movement pretty much, so like 2, 1, and then a flick. So it's like 2 movements to look at things. If it's on the back screen, it's double the number of movements. 4. And if you want to bury it further, you can put it within a folder. So you can put it in a folder at the back. So you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, click, and then you'd be surprised that app will actually stop you using it by default, which is the key here. Remember, it's not about not using these things, it's about not using them by default without thinking. So if I want to go on Instagram, like today I posted a picture of, you can't see it because you're using it. I can still use Instagram just by searching or actually going to it. So it's not like it stops you using these services, it just hides it out of the way. And that is good. Screensaver, what you're doing, lunatic. And finally, tip number 5. Now this is a last resort. Let's say you've tried everything. You've tried putting it into do not disturb mode, turning off all notifications. About that notification point, you turn off all the things that interrupt you, basically use the notification management system on your mobile telecommunications device. Use that notification management system to turn off most of the notifications. So let's say you've done all of that. You've basically tried everything in this video and even other things too, but for whatever reason, maybe you just can't stop. Even if you've had Facebook deleted off your phone, maybe you're just so, I need to look at Facebook, that you'd re-download it fresh every time, or you go through the browser or something. What you then have to do is take more drastic measures. These drastic measures, now don't be alarmed, this does actually work. What you need to do is put physical barriers or things in the way of you actually using this. For example, a more subtle form of this could be if you're in the studio making a tune, have this in a different room, shut the door. I mean, I know you can just open the door and look at it, that's not a problem. But having it outside of, sort of away from arm's reach, and you have to open the door to get to it, you'd be surprised how effective that is. At first you might have a minor or even a major panic attack because you can't get to your phone. Oh no, maybe I'm missing a cat video, or a funny squirrel or something. That's a sign that you're not in control. So that's one thing. Now, as a more extreme measure, but it's proven to work, both the research and from my experience recommending this to people. Lock this in your car, in your automobile vehicle. Lock it away, like literally. Go to your car. Walk to your car. Put this in, not on display. Criminals. Put phone in car. Lock car. Walk away. Up to your studio or whatever you're doing. That should hopefully be enough of a pain, hassle sort of the thing you have to do to not use this. So give it a go. And if maybe you think you don't need to do any of this, maybe you're like, oh, we're on about multiplier. I mean, I don't use my phone too much. Maybe it's not a problem at all. I'm not addicted to swiping up and down in my feed. Then prove it. Or measure it somehow, probably. Yeah, measure it. Try putting your phone in a different room, a different part of the house, somewhere different, put it somewhere else, and see how you feel. Because from my experience, most people can't do that. Bad phone. No distracting me. I've been Multiplier, and I will catch you guys on the flippity flip.